we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, watching from the VODs. Today, we're going to be doing some more game deving, as per usual, on this march to get this game done did. And maybe perchance, today I'll also do some ASCII work on that engine as a treat to myself. Because honestly, dude, I'm having some withdrawals from not using C. Hey, what's going on, Zero? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you, dude. Hopefully you're doing well. Must be nice that it's at an earlier time for once. I think I'm going to be trying to stream earlier. Staying late is not great for me, man. Kieran, good morning from India. India? I'm not mistaken if I recall that you weren't from India, right, Kieran? Are you visiting India? Or have you always lived there and I just never realized that? Or perchance this is a different Kieran. I'm thinking of a Kieran who does Odin, a lot of Odin programming. What was he? Oh, I was doing daytime formatting, wasn't I? Yep. We're not doing that anymore. We're not doing monkey type right now. I abandoned the idea. It's not worth it. Either way, it's good to see you. I was in the Comtech room yesterday, and I heard the CRT sound. It was in the room next to the Comtech room. Oh. There you go. Hey, what's going on, Brabbit? Hey, what's going on, Syndicate? How are we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? It's nice being a little bit earlier, right? It's nice that I'm streaming at a regular time, unlike my usual degenerate sleep schedule. Man. I'm gonna play the game for a little bit and see what needs to get done did. Blessed to see another day. Yes, Brabbit, it's always a blessing every day. Every day, the first thing I try to do every day is like, I wake up and I thank God that I'm alive. I mean, it sounds very dramatic, as if, but it really is a miracle, man. That we have life every day. We have breath in our bodies and strength to face the day. It is something we take for granted. It's also kind of the litmus test to see like how how are my priorities, because sometimes I go through cycles of being super I'm not saying cloud chasey, but I just get addicted to like the notification from YouTube or from social media or whatnot, and like when I'm in that cycle, the first thing I do when I wake up is like, oh, did I get a notification? And it's like once I realize that's the first thing I do, I'm like, oh, there's a problem here. We need to do an adjustment. True, yep, Syndicate. So far, yeah, last time I was thinking about doing the particle system rewrite. Just so I can do some more particular things with this. I might even not even do like a very good system, but I just want to have something that I have easy control over. We switched to using the rigid body instead of doing our own calculation for collision, and we switched to being permissive about like allowing you to actually be able to clip through objects when you're in the invulnerability state. Wasn't my intention, but you know. We also made a better game over thing. I mean, we need to adjust this though. This is not good. I want to have like the UI be cleared out in a more nicer way than what we're doing, and maybe have the player enter a different animation. I used to have a parachute animation in the old game, so maybe I'll reuse that. Aside from this, what else is there to be done? We can design some more level specific hazards, like for this level. Oh, wait 1 second. When I pause, oh, the camera gets frozen. That's funny. Oh, wait. The player keeps moving despite. Okay, that is a very critical bug. Pausing should actually pause. Who'd have thunk it? Okay, so we gotta make pausing actually pause. Let's, I can't even pause now because it's gonna do that. Let's ride this to our to-do. Which one can I get rid of? You're not learning how to forge my signature today. Very tragic, but it's necessary. One second, I need to catch up with chat real quick too. Oh yeah, we already have a nice little to-do list for ourselves. So collisions, okay. We need to do the chip upgrade system. That's also quite a higher priority thing. Input options to pause menu. That's actually no longer relevant. So, or maybe it will be tweaked. I don't know. Things that do need to be done, dude. Fix pausing. Better particles. And what are we gonna do? I'm gonna do. You're gonna be promoted into one of my elite employees. Let's see here. Are you going to make the game available for us to play? Yeah, it's gonna happen. That's the goal. It's gonna happen soon. It's gonna happen this month for sure. The game will be released this month. And that is a fact. It's gonna have to happen one way or another. There's no oh, there's another option. Not optional, but yeah, it's gonna be. We have to have or maybe it doesn't have to be. I don't know. Optional, let's say, or low priority. Move level data cache gen to application startup. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And maybe a little bit of that. Yeah, we're getting. I think like in the next 2 weeks. That's my goal. We'll see. Hey, it's Terrell. Good to see you, man. Glad to see you here, dude. Excuse me. Hopefully you guys are doing well, though. Syndicate, Terrell. In this fine evening. Fixed position. Okay, cool. And, okay, so let's take a look at fixing this pause bug. Because I think it's going to be not too bad. Also, I've changed my mic position a little bit. I'm not sure if you guys may have noticed. It was unintentional, but I've kind of just let it stay the way it was, so. I think you can hear my keyboard still, so that's a good. We'll wait then. Definitely, I appreciate it, Hyper. Not to be Snoopy, Adrian. No, it's okay. You can be Snoopy, man. I think you're the first person who's actually really asked about the type of light I have. I actually don't know. It's is it a tungsten filament? I think it's a tungsten filament lamp. You can also search up like old Edison bulbs and you'll get this kind of thing. However, the bulb is not only the key here. You also need a light switch dimmer. Otherwise, normal current would make this way too bright, and it would die really quickly. So I have a little light dimmer over here that allows me to control just how bright this guy is. And usually I keep it in the maximum low settings so you can actually kind of somewhat see the coils. I don't know. If I had a camera that gave me a little bit more control, I can actually adjust certain parameters like ISO or shutter speed so that you can see this more clearly. I actually have I was on a road trip with my dad, and coming back home we found this rest stop that has a bunch of art exhibits there, and one of them featured a bunch of a guy who focuses on doing a bunch of metal sculptures that features these type of bulbs, and it looks super pretty. And I took some really nice pictures. And you know what? Let me see if I can remote into my other machine real quick. And I think that's kind of where the idea of, hey, this is really cool, got planted. So 1 second. Regarding the camera kit quality, don't change a thing. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't want to make the quality worse. I think the things I'd want to do is have more light levels. I do a lot of post-process correction to make things work, but I don't know. We'll see. I have the pictures right here, I believe. Where are you? Huh, is my... Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just not going to have it show today. Yeah, that's okay. I suppose I'm not going to bother with actually loading up the actual... Actually, 1 second. Mr. SSD, you're supposed to be plugged in, buddy. There you go. There we go. It's kind of jarring hearing the Windows sound after being on Linux so long. It's very strange. It feels almost wrong. But here we go. I have my D drive, and in there should be pictures, vacation, and I call this image set Electric City. So let me move this to the main monitor so you guys can witness this beautiful. There we go. Yeah, look at this photo set. Bunch of pretty light bulbs. It feels like little cities. I'd like to make a game one day where like you're actually, the levels are like these structures. Like this will be the entire environment. You're like a little dude playing on here. I think that'd be really cool. Honestly, I kind of want to make games that are kind of like playgrounds. I guess you'd have to give some mechanics so that you guide people in what they do. These are the artists who did this, by the way. Jerry Adams and David Gravely. Actually, one of them might be the wrong one, but it's okay. It's really cool stuff. I like it. It's very nice. What's going on, humanity? Hello, Draco. It's good to see you, my friend. But yeah, there you go. There's your little photo set. Stop. Oh my goodness, Windows, you suck. Why can't I move my, Oh, okay, I have to do this, and then I have to do that, and now we're in a different... It's in a different place because I didn't move it to the right. There we go. Alright, Windows, stop being so mad at me. I know, it was a mistake to use you in the first place. It's okay. It's for my audio processing. My interface only works with Windows, so it's tragic. It's very sad, but I can't fully divorce Windows without like destroying my audio processing workflow. It's very sad, very sad. If only Universal Audio would actually write or get support for Windows, but alas. Alas, is not in the cards. Okay, we're gonna go to update. Not that update, not this update, this update. Yep, we have our debug stuff. We have our test for is game over. If it's paused, we're returning. I would like to do something as well beyond that. Just that. I would like to set rigid body dot velocity equal to vector 3. Oh, we have to do the whole caching thing, don't we? Yeah, that's right. That is right. Because then when you go back, you want to be able to... You need to... When you unpause, you should begin with all the velocity that you paused with. So do we have an unpause thing at all? Or resume? Yeah, we have is pause and unpause, but that's about it. So I guess we'll just do vector 3 cached velocity. And when we pause, we're going to be setting the cache velocity to our rigid body dot velocity. Quite nice. And then when we resume, we're going to do the inverse of this. We're setting the velocity of the rigid body to our cached velocity. Beautiful. Indubitably. Indubitably. Okay, and then it makes me wonder if the time dilation stuff is going to work as expected as well. Humanity, what's going on, humanity? Where is cat? I do not have a cat. I got gifted my very first Mac laptop, so now I'm going to have to finally be forced to learn Mac OS UI to avoid learning it this whole time. Yeah, honestly, dude, it's kind of funny because I actually do not know how to use Mac at all. Like it's very foreign to me. And every time I go on someone's Mac laptop, it's like the most disorienting experience for me because there's like a spectrum of how do I say this? So like with Linux, right? I can, especially with i3, I can navigate everything just purely through keyboards. Like I don't have to use the mouse for the most part, right? So there's like one side of that spectrum. And then Windows is like a step above it where I can do most things without a mouse, but there's some things that require a mouse, and Windows has some features meant for mouse specifically, whatever. But then like Mac is like the opposite side of the spectrum, where it's like, hey, it's meant for you to be using gestures, and it's meant for you to do all this stuff, and like it seems much more catered for that kind of experience. There's also just different conventions that they do that I don't understand. I imagine I'll get used to if I use it more. I had to use a Mac laptop for work for a short period, like a couple months, and even then I still didn't quite pick up everything. It's very jarring. And honestly, it was mostly me just trying really hard to avoid using the OS and just stay within my IDE. We have all this stuff to... What am I doing? We have pause, resume, cache velocity, update flame, update sprite. What are we doing, brother? We got machine. Where do we calculate? Okay, physics update. We do the v3's velocity, and then we set that. We need to do a time dilation coefficient as well, don't we? Yeah. I think that's precisely what we need to do. So we have to go back to physics update. And from a physics update, we're going to have to do something. What that something is, I'm not sure. I think it might be as simple as just doing velocity times equals, no, not plus equals, times equals. And then, do we have time dilation here at all? Time coefficient. Yeah, I think that's just what we need to do. I believe that should be suitable for us. And yeah, I think we're good there. Because I realized I don't think I factored in time dilation when we did that rigid body rework. What's going on here? I'm in India struggling with education government. Whoa, who died? Your cat? I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, Terrell is the guy to know about that. He's super. That man has the big brain knowledge when it comes to 3D modeling. Well, character rigging and animation, honestly, specifically. I still remember in like high school when you're like explaining to me the folder structure for or like the hierarchy structure for a character's rig, a humanoid character rig. Okay, we pause. It's still doing it. Still doing it. Why are you doing this? Okay, let's go to update and forcibly ensure that this does not keep doing that. So, player controls, vector. Yeah, because all we do is cache it. We didn't set that to 0, did we? Yeah, I feel like my typing's been getting worse, dude. I need to, like, boot camp myself and practice again. Hey, what's going on, Tamirka? It's good to see you. Good morning. Hey, you have it going, humanity. Okay, so we get going, we pause. Nice, and we resume with our velocity. Yeah, and I want the particle systems to also be like stuck in place as well, so I guess Unity also has their own time variable, I think. But I think it's hooked up to the physics stuff. Not that we're using it, so it's not like something would be... we are using it. I don't know. It should be fine, I think, but I'd rather just have complete control over the particles as opposed to what we're doing right now. Cool. But at least this works. Something we do need to deal with, though, is I need to make this look a little better, because it looks kind of rough right now. I also want to add, because this is ambiguous, we have like this icon here, and we have a button. I think I want to move this button, this icon, onto this physical button. But we also have to have a symbol for like upgrading. It's weird, because this is a symbol for purchasing, as well as like for, like right now you're going to be purchasing. You press it. You've purchased and equipped it. If you go to something else, this button is how you equip it. But once you have this, like you need to have a button separate from this one that indicates, hey, you can upgrade your chip. And this should only be applicable to these guys as well. So it's a weird thing. I've chosen to make this diegetic, but it means like some categories that don't have that upgrade. Or maybe I should just have everything be upgradable. You can upgrade your ship's health or something. You can turn a crappy ship into like a super ultra HP tank one. I don't know. I need to play test and see what people find actually fun about this game. Maybe I should just make the HTML build or the WebGL build and give a link to Discord and just have people play the current version of it. I'm trying to be perfectionist, but maybe just send it to people right now, broken as is, and get some opinions. Opiniones. Do you do that today? Do you just do it right now, dude? Alright, what you saying, Tamirka? When I'm programming, I mostly rearrange stuff, rename it, restructure it, and it pretty much always leads to real progress. Yeah, that's the process, right? Code is like this whole, feels like this kind of living organism. I guess that's why there's some code that just kind of decays. Even though it shouldn't, but it does. Who's partying? What's America doing over in the horizontal? I know. Oh, Tamerka's keeping the horizontal chat alive right now. You're the one viewer who's there. You're keeping us in the positives. We don't want viewerships to go negative, right? I don't know how, though. What do you mean you don't know how? You just said that you're doing that, right? Mostly rearranging stuff, renaming it, restructuring it. Unless you mean something else. You know, there's a lot of technical people in this chat. But we've never seen anyone's code. It would be fun to do that one day. Like a viewer code review. It'll be different though, because usually like a code review signifies that, hey, I'm submitting my code to a respectable, knowledgeable person who will give good insight into programming. And I can't really see myself that way. So it's more like, I don't know. I was gonna say like giving your code to a WWE wrestler, but then you have Bret the Hitman Hart saying, "There's your problem. You're dereferencing a null pointer." You know what I'm talking about? Please tell me you guys know what I'm talking about. Everyone here has to have seen that, right? In case you haven't, though, this is for educational dereferencing null pointer.
Come on, you guys. There it is, right there in front of you the whole time. You're dereferencing a null pointer. Open your eyes.
Dude, it's so simple, man. You just don't dereference a null pointer. So I don't know. I feel like code review of codes would be more like asking some homeless guy at McDonald's to review your code. Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration. I don't know, man. I guess it'd be more like asking your mom to review your code. Unless your mom worked at Bell Labs or something, in which case it's like, oh, that's a reputable person. What do we right? Shop view. That's the more important, pertinent thing. Because we're going to be adding a new button for upgrading stuff. That's the thing we're doing. That's the ticket. That's the cheese that we're doing. World button, up arrow, down arrow, select button. And then we need to have an upgrade button. Now we gotta have that bad boy in there. And I suppose we're gonna have to have some new UI logic for handling that case bit in particular. But you probably wouldn't want to go into code in language you never heard or barely heard. My program for diploma project is in Julia language, by the way. Oh yeah, Julia. It's very, yeah, I have not used Julia. Calling yourself cozy? I think you'd be a fair judge. The sea rises to the top. Oh my goodness, it's Macho Man. Oh yeah, the sea always rises to the top. The cream of the crop. Open your eyes, dude. Simple. It's just so funny. Like I would never imagine a WWE wrestler doing that. Like imagine The Rock or John Cena being like, "That's your problem, dude. Dude, you're supposed to be using the Bane character. You're supposed to be using the dot instead of the arrow accessor." Dude, it's simple. You forgot to include the dash, I don't know, L for GCC. I don't know. It'll be a fun timeline to see that happen. We can learn Julia Tamerka. We can learn Julia. Julia doesn't... How hard is Julia? Famous last words. But how weird is the syntax for Julia? Let's look at... You know what's the easiest way to start learning about a programming language? Julia, repo, 3-body program. Actually, no. 3D renderer. Let's see if someone's done a... Actually, no. Let's do a Ray March render. Someone's gotta have done that. Yep, Ray Tracer. Written in Julia. Splendid. Let's learn some Julia, guys. Let's learn the syntax. See what's going on here, dude. Okay, they have a Ray class, or I'm not sure, a J file. Let's zoom this in. Notice to European public. Yeah, I'm not European. Doesn't apply to me. There's totally no legal ramifications. Okay, there's a struct. I'm assuming this is a generic definition. I guess, is this signifying a constraint on the generic that it has to be an abstract float? Is it saying that your generic has to be a float type? Origin is a point. Is point generic? Vec. T min, T max, T integer. Depth is integer. Okay, is T defining a type of floating point number? And that's why these point and vecs have that generic, because it's determining what precision level you're working with. I haven't seen that done like that, but that's what makes the most sense here. And then you have a function array. Is this a constructor? It looks like a constructor. We're abstract float. Yup. And it sets the values. Yup. Okay. I don't know why my Vim motions is not working on this website. I can't like Vim my way around it. It's very sad. Very tragic. Okay, that's origin, direction, T-min, T-max, where yeah. Function. Is that how you do comments in Julia? You do double quotation marks? Like just out of nowhere? This is so weird to me. Okay, is this an operator overload? Yeah, it's an operator overload for the equal sign. And I'm assuming it's for comparison. That seems correct to me. Function at array can be the position of array at a given t. Okay. Like the distance along the array. Yep. Array origin plus t times direction. Yep. You have the direction, then you have the magnitude for the distance you want to go. Yep. Okay. That makes sense. This is fine. That's all there is transform. There's not they don't have more in this for the array. I guess. I wonder if they do any like have a concept of like static utility classes. They have a camera. Interesting. Is this where they're gonna be shooting the rays? Let's see here. Abstract type camera. Okay, so it's defining a camera type with a generic of. I guess this is like really. If I'm not wrong, this seems like it's really focused on supporting different precision levels. Orthogonal camera. Ooh. Oh my god, yeah, Tamerka, we're doing it. Yeah, generic. It's like T must be a set where T is abstract something. Yeah, that makes sense. It's documentation, not comments. So when you use REPL, oh, you're doing REPL. Info that you write about the function in. Interesting. I never done REPL, but people seem really addicted to it. The people I know who know what REPL is are really addicted to it. I think it's the kind of same kind of flows like Strudel for the music generation stuff. EU moment, generic brand pointers, and Gucci designer. What language is this? This is Julia. I'm learning what Julia is right now. Or at least we're getting a flavor of Julia. And I'm just looking at the syntax for image ray tracer. Actually, I'm not sure what kind of ray tracer this is. Fire array, okay. So you have an object called the image tracer. You have the integer. So this is like the coordinates for where you are on the screen, I'm assuming. But then you have U pixel and V pixel. So is that like is this a ratio of the size per individual pixel, I'm assuming? Has dimensions, UV coordinates, hence the center. Oh, what? Oh, it's a sub. It's a sub coordinates of a pixel. So it's not the pixel size ratio. It's like sub positions within the pixel. Interesting. Okay. I'm not liking the lack of brackets though. I feel very naked just with a function def signature, and then like you just go to the races, dog, and just say when you're done. I feel uncomfortable. I feel unsafe right now. Not like the safe of like, oh, safe language. No, I just feel like emotionally unsafe. Like a naked lamb in the forest. Is square and integer. This is interesting though. This is a different constraint. Because this is explicitly saying that this has to be a type. Or is this saying that this is a integer that's taking in? Okay, you do the iteration, fire all rays. So it's going to iterate through the entire image height and width, yup, and then it's going to iterate through... There's got to be a sub-iteration, right, for the sub-rays per pixel? Yeah, here we go. The samples. The sampled. And they're doing the jitter offset per sub-pixel, yeah. And then they have the accumulated colors, they do the samples, you get divided by that, so you get the average. And then they set the pixel. This is weird though. Why is there a function with the exclamation mark? That almost makes you think it's like a macro or something. Interesting stuff. So I will say, I'm not liking Julia. I feel a little uncomfortable with Julia. I will be going to HR and talking about how Julia makes me feel. But hey, it's sensible. We can make sense of it. If condition stuff end, you see that's the words of that's a deranged. That's the word. That is the words of a deranged language. Everyone knows Red Bull, C#. Yeah, this is my C# is my land. C and C# is where I feel safe. Where I feel comfortable. And when I'm really, you know what's not comfortable though, is trying to force C into C#. Then things could become really bad. Exclamation mark is for functions like pop or push, where what you pass will get mutated. Oh, so the bang, or the exclamation mark, not bang. The exclamation mark is, indicates mutability of the, wait, that's, oh, because it's a member function. Is that what it is? SetPixel is a member function of this class, and that's how you indicate mutable functions. Yeah, because function fireAllRays has that as well, so it's indicating that you're mutating stuff. That is an interesting approach. And this is not that. So how does it? So we have a bunch of parameters. Is it doing like the Rust or this kind of school of function definition for where the return result is at the very end? No, these are parameters. Oh, is a return type implicit from the return? Is it returning tuples? You can just return tuples raw like that? That seems to be the case. Because if you go to a language like Rust, you have this going on, but then at the very end you have like a arrow pointing and then the return type. So you indicate the intention here, but if I'm not mistaken, the function return type is just kind of inferred by the return you do, which kind of sounds gnarly if you do something wrong. Macros are where they're at? Gotcha. What's the best way for me to learn Python for me starting out? You're asking the wrong guy, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not a Python guy. I don't like Python in general. I'm gonna be real with you. I think Python, you should only use it for like very minor scripts, but it depends on what you're trying to do, right? Depends on what you're trying to do. If you're doing like some I guess the question is, what do you want to do, right? Because how you approach it is going to change. If you're using Python because you want to learn how to do like some data science stuff, then there's a specific way of going about that, or some things you'd probably want to try doing, like, hey, learn how to use pandas and matplotlib, and learn how to like read in data from a CSV and graph it using those libraries. If your goal is to make games, there's a different way you'd go about doing that. If you absolutely, like, for whatever reason, I'm gonna die on this hill of using Python no matter what, then there's things for that. There's like things like Pygame, which allows you to make games using Python, and it provides a lot of different tools for that. Or if you're more open, you can always try just another game engine, like using a game engine. But there's a bunch of different ways to kind of crack that egg. Where am I? Right, I was adding a button to this category because I was going to add a subscription to whence the select button is pressed. But now we're not going to do select, we're going to be doing upgrade, the upgrade button. And now we have to make a new function called selected. And that doesn't exist, we have to make it exist. Beautiful. I know I rag on Rust a bunch, but like there's the things I like. I do like the mutability syntax they have. And I know C++ and C have that with like the const, but it's not to the same. First of all, const is more it's more characters than mute, okay? I don't know, I just like the way they do it. No. Do not listen to Snot, dude. Do not listen to Snot. Do not start off with General Assembly, bruh. Do not do that. Do not do that. I haven't done that. Don't do that. It'll be cool to learn that eventually. Like, if you are interested in low-level stuff, sure, right? But if you're more so have an idea of what you want to do, like there's a particular goal you have in mind, just start. Actually, don't even start with assembly, dog. Just if you want to do low-level stuff, start with C. Or honestly, if you want to just learn how to program in general, I think C is a great place to start. And then, like, once you learn the basics of programming, then move to whatever tool makes sense for you, whether it be something for data stuff like Python or something, or if you want to do some game stuff, move on to an engine. Yeah, const expression is also a thing, but it's a little bit different. Given to the dark side, I will become assembly. Okay, so you don't want to make games. That's a great clarification then. Then your path is different. What do you want to do? C with inline assembly, dude, it's not. You're like deranged right now, dude. You're absolutely deranged, man. Yeah, dog. I like using C just to write in assembly, just because I'd rather use GCC to compile stuff than some other assembler tool. Upgrade selected. Private void, upgrade selected. Maybe cybersec. Well, if you're gonna do cybersecurity, then you should learn the bare bones of how computers work in general. Which I think C is a great place to start. Cause like you're gonna have to like so much of security is revolved around. I mean, there's been a bunch of different branches of security, right? But some of the most fundamental stuff is based on like just hey, there's some C stuff that you can, or like you have to have some basic understanding of how memory works in your machine, like how functions process and deal with stuff, and how references to different parts of memory are done. And a lot of languages try to shield you from that, but working in C or C++ forces you to actually, learn those things. There's a lot of history of like different functions with different vulnerabilities. Like it's funny. There's like you can go to like a man page, I think, for yeah, you can go to like the get man page, and in the documentation, the description is never use this function, and it explains like what's wrong with the function, right, and the different vulnerabilities that emerge from that. Sorry, that's my phone. Let me put this down a little bit. So you can always add expected type. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so what you're telling me with the ability to add expected type to Mirka is that the person who wrote that code is being lazy. They're being slothful. What you're telling me is that there was a better option and they just chose to be wrong. No, I'm joshing. I'm starting to suspect Cozy had an undisclosed partnership with Big C TM has. I mean, what can I say, man? Like, I think that's how you learn, dude. That's how you get good. And it's not as scary as people... Like, people want to make you think that it's so scary and it's bad, and it's not. Upgrade selected. Right, we're dealing stuff here. So we need to do, like... Is upgrade valid? And how do we do that? Well, we have the cached state, I'm assuming. And we have... I'm gonna have to add like a whole... Oh, there's things I need to do. Current balance. Okay, we have to have a new system just for containing our upgrades and to what degree they can be upgraded. Do I have shop data? Do I have something built into here for that? You got the scriptable item state. That's enum though, so... I guess that's a thing we have to check too, is like the current item, did you purchase it already? Because you can't upgrade something that you haven't purchased, right? So that's part of it. We have current state, current balance, the item states. Yeah. So I think we might want to do like upgrade degrees. It's gonna be like and then we're gonna use that as a coefficient for stuff. And that should be saved, I believe. Let me see how the data is actually stored. The data that's actually going to be saved. List item states, current balance, registry. This can be made read-only, can it? Well, I think I'm eventually going to change that, though. I will see. Under my coding account, there we go. Hello, let's subscribe. Thank you, man. Making more progress than Pirate Software. What are you programming? Yeah, so I'll show you what I'm programming. So I'll show you what we got going on right now. So we got there's this game we have where you're just moving out a character around and you're flying and collecting coins. Nothing revolutionary, right? And then once you're done with that, you can eventually go to the garage and you can upgrade your machine in a variety of different ways. I think I've broken something at some point, so yeah. Anyways, yeah, things are broken because I made some changes right now. So right now you have the ability to purchase objects or purchase like new shells for your vehicle or engines or chips. And now I'm implementing the ability to upgrade them. So that we're going to have another button here, and if you purchase the object, you can actually upgrade it. And I might make it like an unlimited upgrade system, but I don't know. Do I want to let people just absolutely break the game from themselves? I don't know, man. What's good, G? What's going on, man? You just got your degree? Let's go, dude. Yeah, I bet, dude. Hey, what's going on, Smolinks Gaming? Good to have you here, man. Julia has a very structural combinational foundation for a type system. Types are meant to be combined like vector, union, in Float64. Unions of types usually work like enums under the hood. Interesting. Yeah, I was noticing that with because in C#, right? Like if I want to make a generic and I want to add a constraint of like, hey, I only want to accept float types for this. Like let's say I do like, I don't know. Let's say I make a do thing function. No, do ting function. And it takes in t, right? There's no way for me to specify that I want t to be a float, right? Like it's not a valid thing. Or number or something like that. Like that's not the closest thing you can have is that you can say, hey, I want an unmanaged type. But an unmanaged type is not really that great of a specification. Because, like, let me show you what an unmanaged type can be. An unmanaged type can be a float. It could be a char, int, long. It could also be a struct. Yeah, you can use a struct as an unmanaged type. So like, we have this function do thing, and it's taking in t, whatever the value is. I have a function called expose, and I start calling do ting. Like, so many things are gonna be fine. I can pass in 32. I can pass in 0.35, whatever. I can do a new struct, go back, that's a struct. And this is perfectly valid. So even though I was trying to make a function that maybe just wanted to deal with like floating point numbers, I can't do that. So instead we say, hey, it's unmanaged, and then you can do some checks to see like, hey, switch, I don't know. I think you do like switch case value, and then case of like, oh, I guess it was only for objects where you can do that. I don't think I can actually just do like float, right? Float a, oh, I guess I can. So you can do a switch case against the type, and then you can reject the ones you don't want. But like that's like you'll have this type check happen, but it's on runtime. It's not static at compilation time. So it's not the best. It's still kind of bad. I don't like it. So it's kind of cool that Julia has that classification for type constraints in the way it does. I can also see that getting very hairy very quickly. But see, this is why I like C, because you don't have generics in C. You just have the function do your thing, and it takes in a float A. Oh, do you want to do another thing like this where you're taking a double? Well, guess what? You can't, because there's no function overloading in C, so you have to make a specific function for double. And if you want to have something that resembles, like a strategy pattern or something, you have to introduce an enum for the different type and pass it in, and then you can do like a switch case on that and be like, hey, dude, you have to take an enum of whatever it is, and then you'll do a switch case. It's great, dude. I love it. But it's very pragmatic problems. I'm making a type language right now, bro. You can't do that. Not in C#. You cannot in C#. Not at compile time. Need T because there's already where already tells compiler that in some generic type it's multiple dispatch through and through. Gotcha. Can you create a beautiful fast game engine with realistic graphics? Performance? I mean, I'm not sure about realistic graphics. So guys, we're gonna have a little heart-to-heart. You guys remember that game that we were working on before called Messy Mansion? Well, once this game gets wrapped up in the next week or two, I'm thinking about what's gonna be the next thing we do. And let me bring back that game. Remember Messy Mansion? How cool and fun it was, and how rad it was turning out. Remember this? And so I find myself in this weird place where I really don't want to work with Unity anymore. And I really want to do something special with this game. It's very near and dear to my heart. And I kind of don't want it to be bound up with Unity. So I'm really thinking, like, honestly considering actually just writing a 3D engine and recreating Messy Mansion from scratch in it. It's kind of like by all means, a dumb thing, but at the same time, I want it to be something that like I have full control over, and it's fully mine. You know what I'm saying? So I'm debating. I haven't decided on it yet, but maybe we'll do a rewrite. Or maybe I should finish the other game engine project first, do something small in there in 2D, and then we'll do the jump to making this game. I feel a bit conflicted about this. On the one hand though, I'm not making a general purpose engine. This is just purely a tool to make this specific game. So there's a lot of things I'm not going to be doing. I don't know. I think it'd be really fun to do this. And if I do end up doing this, the question is, do I just jump straight into it? Or do we start with a smaller engine project and then go from there? I don't know, man. Thanks for checking out the Julia. It was fun to see it with you from outside perspective. For me, it feels like home. I got addicted to its conveniences. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is, right? Everyone has language preferences, right? There are specific affordances that just feel right. Is it easy to make a language in Julia? I'm not sure. Does your game engine have physics simulations? So that's the thing I was looking at. Because for that type of game that I'm doing, you don't necessarily have to do actual normal physics simulations. You can actually do some quite simple approximations, at least for what I'm doing. That being said, there was some physics libraries I was looking at. If I decided I wanted to really to have more accurate rigid body simulation. So I was like looking at ODE. I think it's called ODE. I have to find it. It seems up my alley as far as libraries go. And the API seems nice. I need to check the license though that I'd be able to use this commercially. Cause I think it's a GPL license. And if that's the case, then this is a no-go. Is there a license free software you can reship and modify under the terms of either? Can you lesser general public license publish for free software foundation? Yeah, I don't know. I have to search it up and see. But yeah, we'll see what we end up using for the physics sim. But I think for this game, the type of gameplay we're doing, I don't think I'm gonna actually need to do that. I mean, it'll be a fun way, cause like we would have to make I would have to I can make the way I imagine if I were to do this engine is that I'm gonna make it work. There's like two options. I can either make my own scene editor and make it work the way I want to. I might even still just do that in some way, but just or I can integrate it with other tools and have it act like that. So like a super simple way of doing it is just have this be super integrated with Blender. And then use Blender as kind of a pseudo editor for the scenes. And then have the app have everything be loaded through the blend files. Or I just do my own editor and then define my own standard. The benefit of that is I can make it a very tightly packed file definition. Anyways, but that's not the point. The point is that I would be able to. I'd want to have, for the physics side of thing, we'd have to build our own acceleration structure for querying geometry and doing tests against it. And how we go about that, there's a couple of different ways of doing it. Different ways of partitioning space for really fast arbitrary queries. And that'd be a fun problem to tackle. I don't know. What's going on, Jacoby? What's going on, Como? Thank you, Como. I'm glad you dig it. And hey, dude, you can get into this stuff. It's never been easier to get into this stuff. There's a lot of resources nowadays, and there's a lot of tools that make this easy, and you don't have to start at what I'm talking about. I didn't start with this. I started with using GameMaker and using the drag and drop commands to code and figure out how do I make this dude move across the screen. It all starts there, dude. Upgrade count. Are we gonna have a constant? Yeah, there's a question of can we let the player absolutely brick their game? Because you're gonna have if we allow upgrading the engine, then you can your engine can keep going so fast to the point where you can't even use it, and if the player upgrades all of their engines, that would be crazy. Maybe we can have like a exponential growth thing where the cost scales up exponentially. In which case we'd want to compute that. I'm not gonna lie, I architect things in a very odd way. I was trying something different, and I'm not actually sure if I like it. Not sure if I actually like this project tree states. Yeah, because this struct is like a snapshot of the current shop data state, but... I'm sorry, what? Oh, it doesn't have balance in here. Okay, I was like, well, that's weird. That's strange. So this would be like input x, and then we'd have some kind of function for calculating cost. Static. We can do it programmatically. And it would be some kind of like count. I mean, we can do something as simple as just this. Just squared. Though we have to have some minimum so that at upgrade count is 0, there's still some fixed cost for upgrading. And then maybe you might want to have some kind of change to slope for this. To change the rate at which it increases. That should be fine. Yes, I've just started. BRB. Yes, I've just been a good rubber ducky this whole time lurking. It's all good. It's all good, Syndicate. Oh, I forgot to tell you that Julia doesn't have OOP. There are no objects except modules. No classes, but you have functions at field of struct. But you have functions at field of struct, so some people can do pseudo classes. Oh, I was seeing something like that. Like when you say OP, what parts of OP are you not? Because it seems there's definitely encapsulation that's happening, is it not? Like, so we see a type definition and a type of data that's encapsulated in it, and I'm pretty sure we saw functions. I mean, you have functions that mutate, like, parts of other fields, so that's why you have, like, the whole indicator mutable, right? Is it possible that NPCs on video games can be as smart as you play with others in multiplayer games? I mean, current game hasn't changed much in terms of AI intelligence. No idea. I think nothing. Like that stuff it's totally possible to make for real, convincing, like game AIs. I'm not sure what's being done nowadays for that. I really don't play much multiplayer games or online games lately, so I'm not sure how things have changed in that degree, in that regard. Cost. Do you know Java? I know C#, which is basically Microsoft Java. I've reached the point where I barely understand what's going on from reading code. I'm graduating IT this year. A fellow IT grad, dude. I mean, don't sweat it. Like, it's hard reading code in a code base that you have no exposure to whatsoever. It's like you get dumped into a jungle and you're like, alright, dude, fine, we're Point Rock is. And it's like, dude, I don't even know where Point Rock is. Hey, Long. I knew Bob. I disagree with that, dude. I mean, plenty of people play the past games I've made online, and even then, I make these games mostly for myself, dude. I don't know, just for the enjoyment of it, man. Honestly, this project's mostly like a test for myself to see if I can finish something that's a bit more complicated in its entirety. But I think if you only do engage in creative stuff just based off of how things are going to be received, you kind of cheat yourself out of a bunch of opportunities. For a while, I find it calming and interesting. I have no idea how to write code, so that's where we're here. It's all good, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I have some finished games on Newgrounds.com under the name Trixelbit, so I think there's a link somewhere. But yeah, I have like the last thing I posted was a prototype of that 3D game from a while ago. For Low Poly Day, this time last year I published it. That's a year old at this point. But I have some other old games here, and I have this game. This is the game I'm recreating right now. But yeah, dog. A lot of old stuff here, Joe. I want to start publishing something that's more reflective of where I'm at. Maybe those functions were just being passed FP warning. Interesting. OP is kind of bad because you pretend the data has agency over its... I mean, it depends, like, what bad we're talking about. Because, like, I'm a very performance-oriented kind of guy, or at least I try to be. And that's kind of where my mind's at. And I kind of architect code around making things better for the machine versus, like, But then there's people who, like... And there's certain domains where you actually want to architect not around the machine, but rather around modeling the problem in a particular way, so you can like deal with state. So like OP is bad in a couple different fronts, right? I can agree on that at least. Yeah, thank you, Terrell. I appreciate it. But I'm kind of curious what you mean about pretending the object has agency over itself, or pretending the data has agency over itself. Shop data. Okay, so we have a basic function here. We'll revise this at some point, but this is a good starting point. We have this, so I guess now we can go back to our shop view. And this is bad. It's all good. It's all good, man. So now we're gonna do this whole boolean for if this is a valid request. So let's first check to see if actually how am I doing this? Update display. We have our current items defined here. That's the scriptable object. It's only going to be, so if this has been purchased and cost, we're going to get the cost to upgrade this. Which is going to be shop data dot calculated cost, and we're going to use current item dot upgrade count for this calculation, and the and constraint we're going to do cache state dot current balance is greater than or equal to upgrade cost. So if we have this item purchased, and like if we own the item and we have enough money for the upgrade, then this is a valid request to do an upgrade. So if it's not a valid request, we're gonna early return because there's nothing to be done. We just reject it. Maybe we'll play a sound effect for rejecting requests. And then we have to do the fulfillment, which is going to be doing something, right? Shop data. We need to modify this and have this be reflected across the whole round trip. How do I do that? Let's see. Do a bunch of different things here. Description, set, action indicator. Texture. Equipped. Selection made. Here we go. Okay, we have functions for this already. Try purchase. But try purchase is not what we want to, yeah. We want to do try, or I guess we can, yeah, there's a bunch of specific error case handling for that. No, we're gonna make a specific function for try upgrade. Okay. You know what? Honestly, I should have this be embedded somewhere. One second, I'm going to catch up with chat right now. We're going to catch up with chat right now. I just want to finish this up. Ah. So it's not enough to just... What are we using here? Current item. It's an item state that we're using. Cool. So that's fine there. But then we can't just use this. We'd have to use like a, for a try upgrade thing, we'd have to, for the least friction would be just to make this use item state instead of the item itself, but I don't know. There's a cost benefit analysis, but maybe I shouldn't be lazy and just actually write the thing correctly. Alright, let me see here. When you're typing, it's like ASMR for me. I love it. I'm glad to hear that, Joey. Are you currently programming in a low-level language? No, I'm not doing it for this project. I have a couple other projects that are low-level, but this one's it's a high-level language. You can do some low-level stuff with it, but yeah, we can talk about that. Let me read Tamirka's message real quick and I'll answer your question right now. managed to get into OP, so I can't say for sure. I'm mostly looking at it from outside, like a part of history. It shows trends and ideas, previous modeling the world instead of building systems. So in a way, it's a anti-programming, not a bad way. It just kind of missed the point. Like I always thought of programming as, like you're your own engineer. You solve the problems, build systems with the algorithms. I kind of see what you're saying, because OOP has this whole idea of like just trying to, well, like, it's what you're saying, right? Like when you're taught OOP in school, they're teaching you how to, they teach you, oh, you should treat programming as if you're modeling reality, right? And in reality, we're used to thinking about objects, and objects have properties, and doing it that way. And I think it's taught with the idea of like, oh, we want to have the least amount of friction for getting people into understanding how code works and how data is handled. But I always like the procedural kind of approach that CDET has. And I started doing things that way, and then I started, going off of that. But I found myself recently, or this past like year or two, like super duper just going back to just, hey, we're going to do things procedurally. Even in C#, that's how I kind of structure things. Hey, how's it going, Kate? But as for your question, Jojo, managed versus unmanaged languages. We'll keep it pretty brief. We've talked about this before, but I think we've talked about it. Or maybe we just talked about C versus C++ or C#. Anyways, so when you have a program, programs do a bunch of things. A major thing they do, though, is like allocate memory. Okay, this is not like the reason, but like when I think about low-level versus high-level languages, like the biggest thing that comes to my mind is how they handle memory allocation, right? But yeah, when you have a program, and let's say you load in a texture, right? Like if you're using ASprite and you load in a texture, that's memory that has to be allocated to your machine. Or if you, for example, I don't know, have a game and you allocate a bunch of objects, like depending on how they implement stuff, that has to allocate more memory. Or if you're using a music editing software, right, and you load in an audio clip, that's allocating memory. So programs have to allocate memory, so there's space to hold the information you care about. And different languages give you different types of controls over that. And they have different ways of dealing with it, because a program, you don't always want to hold on to all the memory you've loaded up, right? Let's say you load in 10 music clips and then you remove 9 of them. Well, you don't want to hold on to those other clips in memory. That takes up space. Or if you're in a video editing software and you load a bunch of video clips, but you're like, actually, I don't need 99 videos of this cat dancing or something. I don't know. You need to get rid of that because space is important. So not only does your program allocate space, but it has to remove or deallocate memory, right? And that causes a whole host of issues. So, or that can cause a whole host of issues if you do things wrong. So the way I think about it is that low-level languages, a major feature of low-level languages is that they give you manual control over memory. So you can choose how you allocate memory, and you're also responsible for deallocating it. Whereas high-level languages try to solve that for you. They limit your control because they go, hey, you're not a big boy yet. You don't know what you're doing. No, 5-year-old little child, you cannot have the keys to my Ferrari, okay? I will drive you to your school. I mean, that's like one level, right? There's a bunch of other things that kind of characterize the differences between high and low level. Limit your control. They usually have something called a GC, a garbage collector, which means that here you have to manually remove stuff. Over here, it's like, nope, there's a system that's constantly checking memory. And it'll automatically free things for you. So on the one hand, you don't. It limits how it limits the effects of memory leaking on runtime. On the other hand, though, you incur a performance cost, so you can't write as fast pace or fast. You can't write programs that are really fast and performant with a GC in play. Or at least it puts very much a big damper on stuff, and you end up having to fight it. There's much more to it than that. Like, in my mind, there's also a difference between like natively compiled versus like interpreted languages. That kind of characterizes differences between low level and high level. There's also like the access. It's not only just memory control, but just like a bunch of different controls. Like here, you can easily, like in C, for example, you can easily like even do like inline assembly, right? That's a super low level thing you can do. Or you can even like use specific kind of intrinsics. I guess like higher level languages give you wrappers for it. So like for example, like C# has. Do I have it here? I think only Burst gives you a library that includes it. Anyways, but some languages give you some control. So like for example, in low level languages you have things like pointers that you can do stuff with, right? Usually you don't deal with pointers in C#, but you can say, hey, I'm a big boy and I know what I'm doing, and you can say this is an unsafe function and we're gonna do unsafe stuff. So I can be like, oh dude, if I have a string Bob, I can do like a pointer to it. Does that not work? That should be a thing. I did something with that today recently. Why are you being mad at me? Can I use the address of the given expression? Is it because are strings stack allocated? Can I just do this straight up without having to fix it? Nah. It worked with spans though. But spans are kind of just now. Why are you mad? Cannot convert type. No, it's read only. Read only span. And then you're still unhappy. So I'm assuming I just gotta class at you. There you go. Now we have a pointer. And you can do whatever you want with that char pointer. Either way though. So C# gives you, there's like some weird blur, because some languages give you some bit lower level control, but there's things you have to contend with. Also, what is going on, Kate? It's good to see you. Hopefully your financial training stuff is going, dude. Hopefully you're getting those good returns that you were after. Is more difficult, but can be very efficient for computer running. Yep, that's usually the trade-off you make, Jojo. There's more for you to be aware of. There's more things that can go wrong, but you have full control, and by extension, if you know what you're doing, you can get much faster performance. That's a keyword though, right? Like, you can have full control, but still do things in a bad way that results in like a slower program than a GC, high-level language. But usually, you can very easily get things much faster on your own. Your engineer solve problems by building systems. Yep. But yeah, that's like the fun of it. That's the fun of it. Like, it's a very simple thing that happens, right? Is that here you're dealing with I guess C#, you're passed in, the way references are passed around are very different than how you do it in other languages. So like, or not other languages, but compared to low-level languages, or this might be getting into the weeds. I'm not sure where you're at, so it may not even be that much value to you right now. Yeah, maybe I just won't talk about it. But there's a thing where, like, references in C#, when you pass in an object as a parameter, you're passing it by reference. So, like, this would be the equivalent in C of, like, you have the same function, when you're passing in, like, a pointer. So you're very much aware that you're doing that. But if you pass in, like, a struct, for example, I don't know, what's a struct I have here? B, you're actually passing in by value. So it'll be the equivalent of doing this in C. So instead of passing in a pointer reference, you're actually passing in a copy of it. So, like, there's decisions that these languages make for you implicitly without realizing it. And if you want to pass in the copy of an object for whatever reason, like, it's something you have to manually do. How's a CRT CPR? It went good. It scared me for a little bit. I thought we were gonna lose the old CRT, but she came back line. I guess the power went out and the DVR went out, and that's what was causing the issues I was seeing. So I was scared, but we're good. Anyways, so we have this valid request, we have this try purchase, we have the selected item. Yeah, we're gonna change this to try upgrade. This actually works more easily, so maybe I'm just gonna stay with this try upgrade thing. Maybe I don't. Cool. I guess we already do a bunch of checks here anyways, but we can make this an authoritative thing maybe. What are we new modifications of current balance? Do I have duplicate functions? Okay, there's... Yeah, I have duplicate functions. What am I doing? So we get the upgrade, we decrement the current balance, and then we need to increment as well the what is states? Is it a list? It is a list. Correlated to the parse registry, I'm assuming. So I'd have to actually iterate through this stuff. What's going on, EDW? Appreciate the heart. I really have no idea what you'd think of the code I write. I developed my own, more weirder dialect of Julia. I think that happens. I don't know. That'll be cool to check it out. Even if it's just for educational purposes. Is the compiler software or is it hardware? I'm very curious and still confused about the compiler. Okay, this is very simple. This is a very simple matter. A compiler is software, first and foremost. It's just a program like any other program in your computer. And a compiler, all it does is it takes in a text file and produces another application, a software, or a library. But yeah, that's all it is. So like, oh, is it still running? No, it's not. Okay, cool. Let's clear screen. So this is the engine project. This is in C. So I have a program, and it's one of the files in that program is like it's called main.c. It's a C program. As you see, there's a bunch of C code here. There's an int main. You've probably seen this if you've seen any kind of Hello World program. But yeah, it's a file, right? And we're gonna look at the build script I have. And it seems like a lot of stuff going on here. But let's just break it down for a second. At least the core important parts. GCC is a program. It's a compiler. So when you call it GCC, that's how you build stuff. And it's right now I called it, there's no inputs here, so it says fatal error, no input files. So GCC is a compiler. You give it a file, it will compile it and produce your program. That's a super big simplification of it, but that's just what it does. So if I were to go to, like, let's say, I don't know, make dir demo, and go there. Cool, and if I were to make a new file called main dot C, you can write a function here, and then, I don't know, printf hello world, right? So this is a program. We also need to add something else to it, I imagine. I just forgot what thing I need. It's like there's stdio. I guess I think that might be the only thing I need. Standard io.h. I think that should be enough for this to compile and run. Also, is this double quotation marks? Anyways, you write it. I can call it gcc main.c. I do -o and then what's the name of the output program I want to have be generated. So you can call it, like, I don't know, my program. You can pretend we're on Windows and do a .exe. I'm not sure if that's gonna be happy, but we do that command, and now you see we have a new myprogram.exe, and I can just run it, and it should just work, and it says hello world. Bam. That's all it is. That's a compiler. That's all you gotta do. And this is a compiler for C. Different languages have their own compilers. So Rust, you have like cargo. So I can go like I can do cargo init, and it's gonna create a new, yeah, it's going to create a main RS. That's their file extension, but again, just a text file. Gosh, I haven't done Rust in forever. See, they have their own hello world print line, and then you can just do cargo build, and bam, it's building it. And now if I go back out, I go to target, I go to debug, you'll see that we have a new program called Rust, and I can just do, and it runs hello world. So yeah, that's just how compilers work. I mean, that's not how compilers work, that's just what a compiler is. So yeah, it's nothing crazy. It's not like you don't have a compiler unit on your machine that's like a you don't have a module that you plug into your machine, and that's what does all the compilation. It's just an application like any other. Gotta go. You have to go into Turmerica. A preliminary defense of my diploma. Is it like is it like because I know for doctoral stuff they do a thesis defense. Keep it up, brother. Stay blessed. I appreciate it, Fear. Thank you, man, for popping in. I always appreciate it, dog. Every compiler is personalized. Every compiler has its own preferences. Okay, so we do stuff here, and now we have to modify state at some level. How do we get index? Do we do a search? We do a linear search every single time. Oh my goodness. That's like kind of terrible if I'm gonna be honest with you. But whatever. This is not like super critical, I guess. It's kind of terrible if I'm gonna be honest with you though. But whatever. It needs to be done. Actually doesn't need to be, but I've architected like this. We're just gonna live with it now. We don't even have to do this whole break thing. I could literally just do a more robust professional engineering have happened. Okay. Perfect. Now we can do the same thing. Okay, our index. Item. This is modifying a copy though. Yeah, so it's returning a temporary value. I just want to have a pointer to the thing, man. That's all a gamer wants to do. I just want a pointer to the thing. Very happy to be able to interact with a programmer like you, and thank you for answering my question. Of course, Jojo. It's my pleasure, man. Hopefully it's informative. Hopefully it helps you on whatever journey you're going through, my friend. And if it's only a curiosity, I'm glad to have brought some information to you, man. I always enjoy doing explanations. States index. Yeah, there's some stuff going on there. Okay, we can either make and use struct copy, or I can just say I'm gonna go unsafe, and I'm just gonna. Am I gonna do this? Maybe I'll just do that. You have to do this whole trinary thing. And I can do bridge, increment, and then we can assign the new value here. So we upgrade the state this way, cool. And then turn true, I suppose. The computer world is so fascinating, and the person who made the computer and programmed it was so genius. that couldn't be that kind of person. Well, it's all incremental, and it's not just one person. I mean, everything in computing is built off the backs of people in previous generations, and everything that goes on in like a modern computer, no one person understands the whole process of it, right? Like, I don't understand everything that goes on in the hardware level. There's things I don't know. There's terms I don't know still. Even the factories that produce these chipsets that are inside your CPUs or GPUs, not one person understands the entirety of the manufacturing process. But rather, it's people who just take ownership over certain domains and parts of it. And even in software development, right? Even like where I work, not one person knows all the parts of the code base. Rather, there's people who know specific parts of it and have that deep knowledge about it. So, no one man can do all that stuff. As for you, Agraths, the purpose of games is not merely to win, but to become worthy of winning. I agree with that. I like games that are about you getting better at the fundamental mechanics of the game. I think that's cool. The games I think are super cool that go beyond that are like games where you as a person kind of have to grow or develop to be able to understand or beat it. And that's kind of the experience I had with The Witness and Braid. And the Jonathan Blow's releasing a demo for the new game he's got going on too, so that's exciting. But yeah, I also like games where you get to explore a world where you're just presented, hey, there's this world, go interact with it. We're just gonna do this. It's gonna be an authoritative thing. We already did the business logic, quote unquote, over here. So this should just work now. Cool. And now we can go into the actual video game, go to the level, and actually do the fun part, which is wiring this stuff up, which I hate doing, but it's the necessary part of games. And I think if you only do the parts of development that you care about or like, you're missing out on fully owning the entire thing. Let's see. Garage. Here's that scene. Okay, it's garage view. This is the scene that you get to interact with. So I'm gonna make a new button down below. Maybe I'll move these guys up too. Yeah, one's gonna be for upgrading. And within shop view, we're gonna provide this new button reference. Now what it does remains to be seen, because we still haven't, we have this upgrade level, but we haven't actually made it do any kind of boosts to any of the stuff, so we have to think about that. And honestly, let's think about that. Because like for the player view, we do a couple different things. We have to get HP at some level. So that's a thing that exists somewhere, I think, within this class. Yeah, hull health, which we're hard coding it right now, but I think we have to actually assign it. Oh, we have this here. And when are you assigned? There we go. So we have to like not just directly get the value, the base value, but we instead have to actually add the other component, like the upgrade component of it. How do we do that? Not sure. Yeah, this is sloppy. Well, this is kind of becoming sloppy because I didn't architect for this explicitly. And because we're dealing with serialized fields, modifying them breaks stuff. And I don't like that. Yeah. So I think I'll just make a property. Honestly, I'll make this like a private field and serialize. Maybe I could just do that. I don't know. There is a formally serialized as attribute, but I kind of don't trust it, and I don't like accruing those either. So. Also, is this an integer value? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. We have to get the degrees, so you have to go to shop. You know what? Okay, we're gonna get, I don't want to expose this. I actually rather have something that gets the degree. Cool. And now instead of doing that, we can just do perfect, and then now we can return a function of health plus upgrade level. And then we have some decisions to make. We can make this increase linearly, in which case we can just do some private const upgrade increment equals, like, I don't know, it could be like 10 or something, or I don't know. I also want to change the health indicator to be hearts instead. I think it makes, I don't know, it makes more sense to me instead of this like bar thing we have going on with the shader and stuff. Not the prettiest thing, but I think it's what makes more sense. So we've tried being fancy and stuff, but it doesn't always pay off, does it? Because really, we're just going to find like how many hits the player can take. That's essentially what it is, and that's the only thing that the player really matters. They don't want to worry about like, I don't think, like from when I play the game, I don't want to worry about like, oh, you know, I took 23.68% damage on that. Like it's not a numbers game. It's the only thing you care about is how many hits can I take before I lose. So I think we're going to fundamentally change how we do that. So I think that's going to be another thing we have to address in our little to-do list. The YouTube app is amazing. I've become able to see the world more deeply. We can connect more with people in this world and see people's activities without having to go abroad. Yeah, it's cool. And that's a really cool positive aspect about it, is that it makes a lot of information way more accessible. There's flip sides to it too, but it is cool. You can get way more insights than you may realize. But it's also like, there's like a trade-off that happens. Because you can cast the net wider, but then it won't go as deep. And there's situations where you don't spread yourself that wide, but you're able to go deeper. It's kind of like relationships, right? You know, the more the more you split your time across a larger number of people, the less time, in-depth time you can spend with them, right? But I mean, at the same time, it's cool that YouTube is, this stuff is all optional, right? And you have control over how you use it. So everyone gets to make their own choice about how far they cast their net. Cool. So we have that. Am I gonna do this rework right now? I kind of want to. I think it makes sense, and I think we need to. I think I might make a little icon for this first, and then we'll do some changes as need be. Let's go to the level real quick. So I'm going to save this scene. I'll come back to you to do some changes, but for right now this is enough. And we'll go to level. And canvas. We're just gonna go to the HUD. And this is green, but I think I'm gonna change it. Welcome back, Smol. Glad to have you here, man. Hope you're successful with the project you're working on your YouTube channel. I appreciate it, man. Maybe I can play the game project what you're working on. I hope you release your game to the PlayStation. No, not PlayStation, unfortunately. Yeah, probably just itch, Steam, and Google Play. I'm hoping to get this game done within the next 2 weeks, though. That's the idea. Yeah, that's the plan, that's the goal, that's the dream. Oh, 1 second, dude. I need to do something else. Whoopsie, I forgot that my control is like cable's very sensitive. Hopefully you guys are doing well though. Today's what, Wednesday, I think? track of time, dude. Yeah, this game is resembling more the original game with each update. Like, I try to be so super different from the original, but I'm becoming like more and more it's going back to the original peak design, dude. I have two questions about the keyboard at the same time on both vertical and horizontal. I don't have a link for the keyboard, but it's just called the Ergo Docs Easy. I think I have the link here, so let me, or I don't have the link, but at least the name. Yeah, thank you, Illusion Hawk. Also, what's going on, Illusion Hawk? Good to see you, man. But yeah, that's the keyboard I'm using right now. It's a very nice keyboard. Alright. I suppose I think I'm gonna put on some music. I think I need some music. Also, I think I'm gonna grab a little quick snack. I'm almost out of water. Actually, I'm completely out of water. So let's do this. Let me go. Where is the Sea Lion project? Did I close it? Let's open it up again. Good to see you, Illusion Hawk. I'm sorry. What is happening? Oh, because we had it open here already. Okay. And we were at game. Session. Yeah, we have BRB. Perfect. Oh, no, not thank you for watching. Why did you compile that? Oh. The text highlighting is incorrect. Well, that's a little funny. Alright, guys. 1 second. I'm going to grab some water. I'm going to grab a snack or two. And then we're going to get back at it. And while I do that, let me find some good music to have going on in the background here. Let me see what I got going on here. What do I have in the arsenal for today? For today, what do we have? Nope. Oh, maybe. Potentially. Yeah, I'll just do this. That was a little loud. My bad. Alright, guys. 1 second. Grab some snacks, get some water. This is a cue for you guys to also maybe stretch your legs or hydrate. And check your posture while you're at it too, so you're not a shrimp. And be back in a second or two. I just tripped on something. I unplugged something. I don't know what I unplugged. Oh well. Good stuff, dude. I'll go, Illusion Hawk. You have a good one, dude. Yep, I needed that. I started very loud, but now it's quiet. There we go. Okay. Let's make this happen. Let's make this happen. So, right, we're gonna need to make an icon. I'll make it like red. Do something very simple, very quick and dirty. In fact, I actually might even just yoink what we have here and just change the color. You have to modify. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of modifications we're gonna have to do. Let me think. So we're gonna have HP correlate to one per hit. So each one heart represents a hit you can take, which means on received damage no longer is gonna be a variable thing, but instead it's gonna be a decrement of just 1 health. And while we do that, it's kind of odd having this water sound effect with this fireplace, but it is what it is. Okay. So within game UI, we're going to produce things a little bit differently. There's no longer a health current property. Because we're not going to use that. Maybe like the speed thing is going to need it, but yeah, nothing else is going to need it. Yeah, only health bar uses it. Okay, perfect. So now instead, we're gonna have, instead of having a raw image for health bar, we're instead gonna make this be parts. It's gonna be a list. Hearts container, and actually we're gonna have another one. Or actually maybe we'll just have a fixed list for this stuff. Start health bar. Now you're gonna be instead. And then we have this whole material thing we're doing here, but that makes no sense. So we're not doing that. We're not setting... We still have to set initial health, but it's going to be a little bit different now. No. Make a function for this. This should actually be an array. Okay, cool. Doesn't need this though, so we need to reintroduce that, but I'm going to do that once I get rid of everything else. Okay. I need to iterate through the count. So this is a normalized value that we're passing in here. I don't want that actually. It's generated here. So when this gets changed, build update, we do a new one, and we do vehicle hull health. Yeah, we don't want that. I actually want it absolute value. I'm not sure who's receiving this. It seems there's only two people using it, which is the game view and this. So if that is the case, yeah, okay, cool. I think these are the only cases of it. I'm going to change this to be an absolute value thing. Or actually even better, we're going to have you encode two things. We're going to be an integer actually. Could cache it, but we have it on hand. We made this a normalized or a float value, but no longer. It's going to be an int value. So wherever we do that health calculation, we have to yoink it from there. Here we go. Perfect. It's a bit of rigmarole, but whatever. Works out. So if we go down further, there should be an empty function somewhere here. Components and children. I need to get some stuff. Hearts. Health update, current health, this is going to be int now. And no. Reaction to pass and M health update. Hearts. Length. What's going on, the ones gaming? What game engine is this? I'm using Unity right now. Unfortunately. I mean, it's pretty good to work with though. But sometimes you just want to be free. Let's see here. She's gonna be true. Perfect. Yeah, I see the actual Unity game engine soon. Once I finish, hopefully, coding out this logic for update. I think I'm gonna do a thing too when your health is low, have the heart shake a little bit, just to really emphasize, hey, dude, you're about to die if you keep playing the way you're playing. Yeah. We actually have to do a couple things, because I need to indicate a few things. I need to indicate this is a foreground hearts. You have to do background hearts as well. Or better yet, we can just have like a sprite to be load for both of them. These going on. Of course, if you do this, you don't need to have a resource name. And I think I'm just gonna do T underscore. You can do fancy stuff with shaders, but I just don't think it's worth it here at all. I think using shaders for a lot of the UI stuff was kind of a mistake. On this game, dude, like, we're like, technically, it's only been 60 days worth of work. But in real life time, it's been like 6 months since like December or something. But the next 2 weeks we're gonna be done with this. That's the plan. That is the goal here. Oh, it's gonna have to happen because there's other things I really want to work on that is being held back by this. And I feel like I'm encountering this diminishing returns thing. No heart container. There we go. This is redundant. And yeah, that's just due to commenting out that required field. It's kind of a bad field, but what can you do? Oh, did I name it correctly? Use constants? I didn't. Yeah, there we go. This is partially why I'm kind of glad that I didn't make a Patreon or took money for this, because it's like people would have paid for this and I would have delayed the game like crazy, because I drastically always underestimate how long things will take, and it'd be this other background pressure around this stuff that would just kind of suck some of the fun of making this game for me. So kind of a blessing in disguise, right? Okay, cool. How did you learn all of this? Just working on game projects in the background a bunch. Ever since like middle school, I always had game projects I was working on, either in Game Maker or something else. And, you know, used to keep solving problems and making games, and every time you encounter the same thing, you're going to be doing it a little bit better, a little bit differently, or maybe you actually stumbled upon the right way of doing it, and you just kind of keep doing it. And then eventually I got like, circle friends in college, and I learned some stuff from them, and then I eventually got a job and I learned stuff there, and then I got a real job, a big boy job, and that's where I really started learning. That's where my education in programming actually started, was when I got my first real big boy job. Progress health. Okay, so we've done stuff, I believe. I believe this should be good. So I think I'm nothing. The only thing that's left is, oh, did I get an ad? Who added me? What happened? Of course, yeah. See the garage door. Perfect. Yes. Let's spread. What's the word? Not accountability. Or actually, yes. Merrier. Anyways. But yeah, I'm, yeah, it just takes time, man. All this stuff is functions of time. If you have the desire for this stuff, you can't help but just do it. So get our containers. I could maybe iterate and initialize things, but I'm hoping that the other thing's gonna happen, so we're gonna be good. Let's make our quick heart icons, and then I'm gonna upgrade all the stuff in the game to accommodate this. Maybe I'll play some games tonight or something. I don't know. I haven't done games in a while. By hand? I know, it's crazy, heh. Or hee hee. We still exist. Still happens. Game board, yeah. Resources. What did I call the resource? Okay, it's T-Heart front and T-Heart back. So we're gonna start with the placeholder for right now, and then I'll do the nicer. And then it's gonna be the same variation as this, except just dark, and we're gonna do an outline. And that should be good enough. Perfect. So the game should just have it now. And then now we need to set up our HUD to facilitate this correctly. We have our health bar, and we're gonna be changing this very drastically. We're no longer using this. No raw image. We also have to modify the background too to accommodate that. Gosh dang, middle school. I've been always strive to be a game developer. I just want to spend my last summer as a kid playing games. I just started Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion Remastered as my summer project. I mean, you can do both, man. I mean, I remember being a kid and I would have these game projects I work on, and it was fun. Like, I enjoyed it. It's not work. And I'd also have games I was playing. Like, I'd be playing like Killzone 2 on the PS3, Little Big Planet, a crap ton of that during the summers. A lot of that, man. Like, for me, it's not like work on games was like a job or something. Like, it was just fun seeing a game I was working on just come to life a little bit, or making fan games of stuff. I still have let me see if I can find the picture of my childhood room where I started doing coding. I think I might have it somewhere here. If not, don't worry about it, but I think I have it somewhere here. If not, no sweat. Ah, I have it right here. So here's my childhood room. Let me see if I can. I'm not sure if you guys can see it that well on camera. Yeah, there you go. But like, I had like Team Fortress 2 up because I used to love playing that. And then I had like a little VGA cable. That was my second monitor. So I'd like switch between playing like Team Fortress 2 during the summers and Game Maker. That was my first gaming laptop I ever got, actually. Has been trash, so I lied and never came back. It's all good. It's laggy. It's lagging pretty bad even now. I just wanted to say goodnight. You have a good one, Syndicate. Good night. Thanks for popping in, at least. Yeah, but it was like it's, I don't know, if you this stuff is even now, like, this is fun for me. Well, getting to the end of a project starts being a little bit less fun because you're doing things that are not necessarily, you know, the funnest things in the world. But dude, like, starting projects are super exciting. Every couple of streams you'll see me start something new just to spice things up, and dude, it's super duper exciting and fun. And when you release games too, it's super it's a weird kind of feeling, right? Because there's times where I release a game and people feel what I'm feeling, and those are games that are much more kind of expressive. But then there's games where I release it and then it's cool that people like it, but there's also kind of this empty, like, it's like, oh, what now? I spent all this time working on this thing and now it's out and people are enjoying it, but where do we go from here, right? Where Where is the health? Or is it a mock-up? I think partly why this game is starting to get a little bit for me is just because it's not really a game that's very self-expressive. I'm not having stories and stuff. It was much more just, hey, can I do something that's non-trivial and get it out and prove that I can do that? So the game itself is not necessarily the most, like, I don't know, the most personal thing. But mechanically, we've gone through a whole road of like a bunch of different weird and cool stuff that's kind of helped me grow as a programmer in different ways. Also, thank you, Ziga, or Ziga Diaz. You can live within your fandom and community. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go live when I release the game. There's some games, like the games, it's older games I've done before, but there's games I release and they kind of feel like almost diary entries. So it feels very personal, and I'm looking for a connection with the people who play those games. And there's games where I have a feeling and I want to have people have that feeling as well. And that's another interesting kind of experience. And there's games that are just purely mechanical, and it's just, it's like, okay, does the mechanical aspects of is the mechanical aspects working as expected? Or have you hit the, are we hitting what it's supposed to do? Is it performing the way it's meant to perform? Or are there bugs and stuff like that, and it's a different thing. Okay, so we have our health bar now. I can create a UI raw image. Or actually, no, not image. I need to create a raw image. There we go. And you're gonna be 64 by 64, I imagine. That's what I'm thinking. Please stop. But yeah, I think the next games I work on, I want to try to do something. I have very specific stories I want to tell, or experiences I want people to go through. So if this game is like a technical challenge for me, then the next games I work on are going to be much more of a design challenge, or like a writing, or I don't know, a challenge of that sort. If that makes sense. Okay, so we have a bunch of these. I'm going to use a horizontal layout group. And we're going to do a bunch of these dudes. Very cool. Live, but still cool what you said. Makes it by your works. Yeah. Well, I think if your goal is stories, you actually don't need much. In fact, you don't really need to do a lot of technical stuff that I'm dealing with. There's tools that are very difficult. In fact, there's a game. In fact, maybe we'll play it today, honestly. Like, legitimately, maybe we'll play it today on stream. But this game is super simple. It's in the category of walking simulators. But everyone who's played it, or I've shown live, or play with live, or like we hop into a voice chat and I see them play the game. Like, it's very thought-provoking. It stays with you, and the way you interpret the story changes with time and as you grow. You know what, maybe we'll play that today, actually. Maybe we'll actually play that on stream tonight, because it's not a long game either. Evulgence RPG. Did I have it open, or is that the main page? Okay, I just had it open. It's called The Beginner's Guide. And I think I have it downloaded, actually. So if you guys have never played this game, I'll be totally down to play it today. Or if you want to experience it yourself, by all means. But this is a game I not frequently, but I periodically through my life come back and play. And it shows like you don't need anything crazy to make an impactful game. And I think that's what I'm kind of struggling with, is that I've gone through this whole cycle of getting better at programming, right, and art and music. And it feels like I can almost do it sounds like kind of, but that's how it feels like. It feels like I can almost do anything, right? But when anything's on the table, it becomes much more difficult on choose what you do. Like if you have infinite possibilities, how do you wrangle infinity and choose a finite specific path, right? Whereas when I was younger and I had far less capabilities, I was way more constrained in what I can do. But that constrained skill set created a certain focus in what I made. Not to say it didn't suffer from my inabilities, but I think, I don't know. That's something that I'm thinking about quite a bit lately. So if it's eyes less than max health, we do that. Eye less than. Yeah, I think I'll finish this health system, and then I'll see about playing the beginner's guide. Or maybe I'll do a stream this week dedicated just to doing that, because some regulars aren't here today. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know why I keep dereferencing it, or indexing into it. I could just hold the raw image directly. Or just image. And then it simplifies down to image. So if I is less than current health, we use this, else if it's disabled, we also continue over here. Nice, doing these updates. Good stories are either the ones where they're about character or about the world you live in. Like Fallout is a sort of sandbox because you make a name for yourself in the world around you. Spire is more about his character building. Oh, that's where things become more open, right? As far as what great stories, like there's stories like Gone Home, where it's like I guess it's very much about the environment, right? But you're piecing together this very person-driven story, but there's no persons. Or even like Firewatch, right? Yeah, sure, you're very much based in the environments, but the main pulling thing is the individuals. But yeah. I think for me though, my goal with telling stories is to there's experiences you have, right? And words don't quite quantify it. And I think games can be a great medium for those types of experiences. And I think I want to connect with people, and because there's a lot that I just don't talk about, right? But the thing that always drew me to games is that there is a way where I can connect with people in a way that I normally can't. And that's like the peak for me, the pinnacle. Like, yeah, games can be fun and that's cool, but for me, for creating games, the thing that I like to do, the thing that gives me the most gratification, it's not even gratification, but the thing that's the place where I find that meaning is when someone can play something I've made and they can kind of get something about me. Especially something that, you know, isn't something I typically like share with people. Or something that you can't, because, like, you know, words fail to encapsulate it. Hull health, X not value. Why is this being weird? What's happening in player? Pick up. Yeah, it's gonna be an int value. Where's Unity? I keep missing it. Did it crash or something? Where's Unity editor? I don't see it. I see a bunch of things that kind of look like Unity, but I don't see this. And it shows that it's open right now, so I'm not sure where my engine's gone. Where has my engine gone? You're not there. Nope, not there. That's the code. Where did the Unity go? That's Unity Hub. I'm not working with that though. This is a browser. And these are Aseprite instances. I didn't move it to... Oh, I moved it here. There we go. Talented software and game development expert. I sincerely wish you all the best. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm great. I think I know that I have capabilities to do something, and right now I'm just trying to realize it. Baby steps at a time, right? Project by project. That's all you can do, right? But I think I'm less so about I think the thing I just care about now is just, can I create the thing I want to create? We went to Unity for a reason, right? And it's because Unity is going to compile stuff, And once it does compile, it's going to show me where errors are happening, because I think there's got to be an error. There's no error. Cool. So we have our hearts, we have our health bar. We need to provide our health bar to this container. I may also want to hide this because it's actually going to be set on runtime and not. Don't add. And you're going to be a private thing. Perfect. Okay, cool. Have you played Half-Life Portal? Yeah, I loved them. Great games. Great games. Yeah, I loved I love the atmosphere of those games in particular. Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 as well. I remember in that picture I showed you on that little VGA monitor, I used to have, while I was working on stuff, I would have Inside Freeman's Mind playing in the background too, while playing, while working on stuff. Good times. Chip activator. Okay, cool. So I think we're good on this front. I think I need to modify some of the vehicles too, so they can actually display things correctly. So I go to bike configs, resources. If I go to the hulls, so I think the default hull I wanted to have like you only take 3 damage, and the truck one is going to take like, I don't know, 10 damage or something. Something goofy and ridiculous like that. And then as for these images, you, my friends, need to be a little bit smaller. So I actually will revert you back to 32 by 32. Or even potentially like 16 by 16. Yeah, because I don't want this to collide with that, but yeah, I think we need a little bit more space. Just a tiny bit more space. And we're going to pack the spacing a little bit more tightly. Wow. Why is this not... Why is spacing always weird with horizontal layout groups? Okay, and this either works or it doesn't. We shall find out. It still has so much replayability because of the Steam Workshop. Yeah, it's insane. This doesn't seem to have done the thing that I wanted to do. And the horizontal layout group thing is not sizing things the way I want it to. But you know what, the best thing about this is I can deactivate it, and I can just use it just to space it initially, but then correct it. Yeah, I haven't actually looked too much at the Steam Workshop stuff for Portal, Portal 2. But even like just the speedrunning stuff too is pretty insane, and the discoveries people make. Nice, it is working, but it's not working initially. But it is working, so that's actually really good. That's a really good sign for us. And it just means that we need to have some kind of invoking that happens later, or we just make this get it from the player directly. Which may not have happened by this point. Might do like Private Void Wake and have this stuff happen there. So for example, we can have this, oh, wrong place to have this happen. It's happening in the wait? Nope, start. Receive game over. Subscribe. Engine set pitch. Nope. We're gonna do the getting of the health here. Since so vehicle. And then here. Let's see if this fixes things at all. If not, we have to actually get the stuff in the player at the appropriate time. In which case it's still necessary, so we're good. Can you share the games you create with your followers? Yeah. There you go. Oh, you got the link. Perfect, dude. Perfect. And we have a null reference exception going on here. Is happening. Player. Since current vehicle. Well, that's odd. I don't know why this is being so problematic. It's as if this exists before the application. Do we have to change ordering? Is that what's going on here? Project settings. Here we go. So we have what happening where. Okay, yeah, we have to have our application have it be first. FNF application. You're gonna happen way sooner, my friend. Apply. Perfect. Hopefully that doesn't break things. We'll find out now. Well, nice talk. I'm gonna go to bed now. Yeah, you go to sleep, man. Get some rest. Hopefully you get your 8 hours, man, and hope you have a good day tomorrow, dude. Thanks for popping in. The Once Gaming. And thank you for taking interest, Zeeg. If you want, because there's the games that I find kind of meaningful aren't on Newgrounds anymore because they were taken down for copyright because I didn't at the time I was using music from other places. It's still happening though, so you have to actually directly get it. That's okay. Or we can do something really bad and just have this execute after 1 frame. I don't know. So I would have expected this would have caused an invocation when we do the set, cause the publishing to happen. But I guess not. So what can we do? What can we do? I can just like wait at an additional frame. I hate that, but that's like the simplest solution I can think of right now to deal with that ordering of stuff. Or coerce this to like I wonder if this is auto-dispose itself on completion. I think it should, right? I don't know. You have to do this dumb thing. It's gonna say it's always null, but it's actually fine, I think. Okay. Okay, so it should take some time to compile, and hopefully that should be enough to fix it. And we should have the correct number of hearts now. And we do, perfect. It works as expected. Beautiful, dude. I am super happy with that. Yeah, I need to fix some stuff for mobile though. The mobile inputs are a little bit busted. But this is good. This is good. This is Mark, this is good news. So let's do this. Actually, let me just check to see the good status. Yeah, we did it, dude. We did it, Z. We're in there. And we got the ding from this Discord showing us that the commit got published. Perfect. We did the thing. And now we need to test to see if upgrading actually works. And I realize there's also something I neglected, which is the shop view. Okay, we have to do this, because we have to know how much it's going to cost for us to do an upgrade. And we have, display. Okay, cool. We have this locked, sale purchased. This current vehicle stuff, the item name, selection is made, move up, update the display, we get a switch, play some sound effects, change the indices, that's from category. Here we go, so we set the text and we set the item cost here, but now we have to change this to instead be purchased, then we're going to display upgrade. Otherwise, we're going to display its offer price. What's the states we had here? Purchased, locked, available for sale. Okay, cool. So instead, we're going to do upgrade cost, and it's going to be for current item. And now we're going to use this instead. And then to do I also want to have a star system or something. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're clicking, Cavid. We're clacking. Okay, so I think that should be enough. You can press play and we can see how things work. So cool, we collect some coinage, we hit some stuff, bam, bang, we die, we go back to the main menu, it should work, we can go to the garage, beautiful, we can upgrade the hull. It's not upgrading. We could buy the truck. We bought it. I think we should have like just a purchase button and not an equip button. We have to have them make them separate, I think. And I'm pressing this, but nothing's really happening. And my coin's not going down either, so I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not seeing any errors. If we press play. Oh, I have a ton of health now, though. So I guess it's a representation issue on the front of... it's a representation issue in the shop UI. But the actual functionality is there and happening. We're just not updating the shop with the correct information. Yeah, how many health? I clicked that button a bunch, dude. So there's gonna be a... You might be here a while just taking massive damage for a fat minute. Yeah, massive. Oh, we timed out though. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it doesn't matter how much health you have. Like if you keep timing out, you're not gonna be good. The thing I hate about Unity is that even the smallest change of code can still take long to compile. Yeah, well, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, dude. It is. I mean, there's a lot. Like that's part of the reason why I wanted to do where we're doing my own engine is, or we've done a couple engine projects, is that like there's so much extra stuff that you're not using in this. But if you have your own engine, you can like write explicitly just the things you need to make the thing happen, and like compilation times go way faster, and it's so much faster to iterate and try different things. It's super duper cool. Looks smooth, thank you, Z. You can try to mitigate it with Unity by doing like, you know, different assemblies, so only those assemblies get recompiled, but even in not that large assemblies, you still have to wait a second for things to get recompiled and run, which sucks. But I guess that's just the nature of the beast, right? Yeah, because it's like so much, like when I'm working on the engine project, or even like the ASCII world, like it's not even fair to compare it, but I'm going to compare anyways. 1 second. One. But yeah, it's like building is like instant, like fast. That's how long it takes to build something. Do some changes, quick build. all there is to it. Like, I love that. In fact, I should do like a build run. In fact, I'm gonna do that actually. And it's just gonna be so I can just do, and that compiles and runs the thing. So I can, hey, I want to make some changes. Maybe I don't want to have, I don't know, this object be there. Instead I want to use something else. So like, or you know what, let's make this like a lit object. Where do I set that? Object shader, standard lit. Let's see. Bam. Like, you love to see it, dude. You love to see it. Like, it's so much more fun, dude. I love it. It's one of the different reasons why I just really want to move. What's going on, Ming? It's good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. A newer game engine called Flax it's a small 3D engine. It takes pieces of Unreal, Unity, and Godot and combines them. Have to wait for code to compile. Well, I mean, to be fair, Unity does a lot of heavy lifting. Yeah, but like heavy lifting for things that you're not actually going to be using all the time. And I mean, it's an issue with general purpose engines just in general, right? Because if you're making an engine that's meant to accommodate every possible game, you never perfectly accommodate any game. So you end up having overhead that's not always required, or most times not required at all. Like, you can have AAA game engines, or engines that are doing really complex things compile within like less than a second. It's a real thing. It's a possibility. We just, like, computers are way faster than we realize, but we just kind of tolerate like this crazy amount of bloat and slowness because we just think it's normal and acceptable. And it's actually not. Really enjoy your work, and that's good. Thank you, Z. Yeah, it's I enjoy this stuff. It's fun. Like, even with these little like headaches we're talking about with Unity, like, yeah, these are nuisance, and the thing is, like, it compiles with time, right? The more you work with it, the more time that you kind of lose to just this. But even with that friction, the process of creating games is always, I don't know, I enjoy it, and I find meaning in doing this kind of work, even if the tools we use are not always the best tools, or may not the best tool, even if the tools we use are not to our specific liking. Let's see here. Going to work? We have a good one at work, Ming. Thanks for popping in, at least. I hope you have a good day. Tried C for things. It's too much control for me, to be honest. I'd rather do C++. That's a fair thing. I think most people would prefer C++. I think, honestly, for me, the best balance would be using C++, because there's even things that C doesn't have that I do enjoy from C++, but, you know. Different strokes, different folks, right? But like, even in C++, like, you can have, or not C++, but let's say languages like C++, you can have way faster compilation times. Like, I was watching this this demo of Jai, that language, and it recompiling the entire game in engine, and the speed was just insane for how, like, it's a non-trivial application. It's a whole commercial game, and it compiles in less than a second, like less than half a second. It's like, it's insane. And it's like, oh, you can do very much big and non-trivial things and have it be a really fast recompile and have like really fast iteration. It's not a pipe dream or some mythical thing. It can be done with higher, like, languages that are not C, right? Like with the same kind of abilities or capabilities as C++. Like, if you watch that, it's insane, and it just makes you realize, oh my goodness, things should not be as slow as they are right now. Also, Chimera, thank you. It's always good to see you here. You got me messed up, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have like Discord open in one of the tabs here somewhere. And it does that when I do commits because there's an automation for my repo and Discord. I want to make a programming language in C++, but I'm going to finish my C# one first. Programming? Like, you're making a language in C#? I didn't know you're doing it in C# specifically. Okay, what we're doing something. I was doing something. Alright, shop view is not updating correctly, right? That is an issue that we need to address. And I think this has to do with our upgrade function that we're doing. Set text. Okay, display. We have this if balance item name icon texture. Okay. Get upgrade cost. So that's for getting the cost, but when we do the actual upgrade, we do this whole state change thing. But I think when I do changes like in try purchase, something else happens. We publish changes, that's why, and I didn't do that. We need to do that. So when we do, let me find the tab that's doing that. Okay, I found it. My bad. Also, what's going on? Aha. Or Aja, Christy. I'm back. Well, what's going on, Knight? Dude, Darko, what's going on? It's been a minute, dude. But the illustrious Darko has returned. Hopefully you're doing well, man. But yeah, dude, it's like, there's a faster future, man. We don't have to be waiting this much in between iterating. Upgrade. You're right. This is what I was gonna paste here. And we create this new, yeah, publish. I'm kind of like creating a reactive property without realizing it. Or I've kind of created a reactive property. It's kind of like a case of convergent evolution. Okay, press play. So, okay, we do some stuff. If I decide to pause, quit, we go back here, go to the garage, we purchase. So starter hull. Okay, so we do purchases, and now it costs a little. That is not, we need to have this grow way faster. Quadratic growth is not gonna cut it here. Yeah, we need to grow at a significantly greater pace. Okay, let's take a look at our, we're gonna do the classic We're gonna go to Desmos. Oh, I should make a graphing. Is there an ASCII-based graphing terminal app? TUI graphing calculator. Someone has to have done this, right? A TUI graphing calculator. Yeah. Okay, you have to do that whole thing. Oh, I don't want to make. Fine, we'll just use Desmos for right now. GTA 6. Oh my goodness. And then we're going to turn on our dark mode extension. Because I really want to have some darkness. And our function basically is just x squared plus, you know, the minimum 100, right? So per single step of x, there's actually not that crazy significant growth. In fact, we don't have to even make it up there. We can make it relative to origin. So I'm guessing we're just gonna have some like step increase for this. So let's do b equals, I don't know, 1. We're gonna multiply x times b. Now we can see the step increment per single unit of x. Yeah, buddy. So for every single upgrade increment, so let's even like calculate this, right? Same exact function. So y equals 1. The first iteration is going to cost. Second iteration. I want to see how this grows per iteration. 3 is 56. Okay, so 10, 400, 900. That seems like a more acceptable scaling per heart. I might want to factor in something else, but I think that's going to be a fine way of like calculating this for now. Heavy lifting is okay if you want to impress. In my generation, 90 minus 2010. With girls, you had only 3 options: big muscles, dancing well, and reading a book. Really, reading a book was the solution, was an option. You can use stuff made in Unity and Blender. Well, to impress girls, you just gotta make a VTuber, man. You just gotta make a VTuber avatar. That'll get all the ladies. Okay, so does this seem reasonable to me? If you try going for a 4th upgrade, it's gonna be like, you know, these numbers are too chump. I want my players to be broke and destitute. Yeah, you know what, we're doing this scaling. That's like for each additional heart. Yeah. See, it's super simple, guys. Just don't be broke in my game. Just don't be broke. Just have money. It's so easy. Super simple. Super duper simple. I did it what? Like, what was it, 10? Pretty sure that's what I did, right? Yep. Long term helps, only hard work and small steps. Yeah, man. I mean, things easily gotten, easily go away, right? But things built over time, I don't know, can still disappear in an instant. But the character is what counts. You're your character. Okay, so this is gonna be a good scaling, I think. I think this is gonna work out for us. I need to figure out this like whole crazy maximum speed thing. That needs to be addressed. So we're gonna quit. We're gonna go to garage, and then I'm gonna try making a purchase. I wanna upgrade my hull. It costs $100. Yes, sir. I would gladly like to buy one. Oh, 200, you say? I can still well afford that. Oh, now you're getting a little bit too rich for my blood. Okay, that's outside. I can't purchase that. Wow. But now I have these, so I can go back, play, and we have a lot of hearts now. That's like more than I actually expect. That's actually not the correct amount. We only did 3 purchases, so if we had 3 hearts, we should have 6 hearts. We have way more than that, though. If I were to die a couple times, is this gonna represent? Yep, now it's gonna pop up. Okay, something very fishy is going on here. Okay. Let's see what is happening. We get the upgrade level. Oh, because we're upgrading by 3. No. We're straight up just gonna do upgrade level. Yeah, that should be fixed now. This should work now. Okay, I think we can take off the initial $1,000. Players are not going to start with $1,000 in my game. They're going to have to earn it. You want to be a thousandaire? Gotta get your 1,000. Okay, am I wrong or something? This is shop data, right? I did not see the 100. Oh, I just missed it. Okay, apparently I can't read when scrolling at 1,000 miles per hour. I thought it was super, but I guess I'm not. So let's see like how long it actually takes for a player to earn this amount with the default stuff. Okay. So how quickly do I get to 100? Oh, you get pretty quickly to 100. I'm already at 100. So let's see how far I can go. Maybe I should make the first one a little bit slower. Ow. Ow. Dude, I'm actually kind of sucking. This game is actually a little difficult? That's preposterous. Perish the thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, what? Oh, I timed out. I didn't realize I was timing out. Okay, so we have 150 buccarinos. Let's go to the garage. And I'm gonna just upgrade my current hull. Now we gotta get 200. That's like at least 2 runs, right? So we go for another run. Let's see if we can get to the next stage. We have to lower the radius for those lasers because they're too big. And they can cause issues, like actual issues. Yeah, we'll deal with that eventually. Dum dum. Oh, we're stuck here. Stop time is broken. Oh, we broke stopped. Oh no. Oh no no no. Oh no no. What happened? Are we even missing reference from Rigid Body and Player? How? Oh, because it's never... It should be assigned by this point. Okay, let's just assert that. Dun, dun, dun. Or do we do physics? Yeah, we're not gonna do this. On awake, you're gonna for sure do this. Cool. Let us see now. Oh yeah, we're gonna test this out, right? It's not working. Why is our time dilation stuff not working correctly? That's unpause is not gonna do that. So what happens? Locked player controllers. Yeah, that should only happen here though. Is it within... Is it done within the actual chip classes? Time stop, here we go. Get module time dilation and elapsed time accumulate. Time dilation of group. Yeah, but what happens? What's going on there, though? Lapse time equals 0 to accumulate. When do we set the actual time for the player, though? We have time coefficient, but when are you assigned? This is odd. This is super weird. Because we should receive this time dilation and we're storing in the time coefficient. Resume, pause. Velocity equals 0. It's very strange. Physics update. We do velocity times the time coefficient, but maybe I just shouldn't be doing that. Use overwrite min. We do some kind of enforcement. Maybe I could just do 3 times. Actually, no, we want to do in the output. But this should be fine. Alright. Good old fashioned login. Do I have a thing for this? Is it going to print to string the way I want it to? Hopefully it does. If not, it's going to be kind of a pain. Oh, wait, what happens here? So you have rigid body dot velocity equals v3. Oh. Am I doing this the wrong time? I may have to be doing this here, actually. There we go. Yes, folks, use keyboard, move mouse from desk. Yeah, get the mouse out of here. You don't want no dang mouse in the way. All you need is a keyboard, man. The mouse was a mistake. Xerox did not know the error they were doing the day they made the mouse. Okay, we're gonna do this. Yes, okay, and that fixes it now. Now we're good. Now we're actually good. Ow. So you go back to testing how this scales. Ow. Come on, 100. I need 100. Get me to 100. That's all I need. Oh, I got timed out before I got there. No. Okay. We got 152 though. We can go to our ship. We can do start doing the upgrading. So the price for upgrade right now is this. This needs to update as well to indicate the actual correct amount of time. Okay, there's stuff we need to do. There's stuff we need to do. Can't afford 200, but we can definitely go for another one of those. Yeah, I want to get a feel for how time is going to scale. Is there an error here? Why did we start over here? What is going on? Are we getting this missing reference exception? But like... What? Do we just need a prune? It's causing directly from this. Well, so we're not gonna do... this whole thing. I'm just gonna do the direct iteration. Yeah, we basically have a form of garbage collecting going on right now. How is this failing though? Plausible is not null, but rigid bodies is null? This happens on awake. Is it a thing? Like, the only thing that will work is that if the component is outliving the game object itself. And that's strange and weird. Or that component got destroyed, but that's also strange. I mean, we can do a band-aid solution that is, like, wrong. But there's something weird going on here as well that I can't. That's not right. I'm curious though, to see how far this propagates. Let's see. Maybe I've done something dumb. Collect some coins. Cool, let's die. Bam. 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 Cool. Dead. Go to the shop. No, not high scores. Go to the garage. We're gonna go to here. Do it. Oh, I can't do an upgrade, can I? I don't have enough muns. Okay, and this works fine. So the error last time was triggered by a timeout, so maybe that has something to factor into that? I just focus on getting 100. And once we get 100, then we should be golden. Okay, we're at 100. Nope, don't finish it. Timeout, timeout. Okay, we lose. Cool, we exit. We go to the garage. We make an upgrade. Can't do another one. Okay. We press play. And things are fine. But it's always this stage, and it's fine here. I wonder if we go to another one. If it's a crystal cave, one that's like breaking. Come on. Dude, the randomness is not random. Or it is, it's actually very random. But the streaks like this is, yeah. I might have to implement like a shuffle module or something. Yeah, this is fine here. Aha! And we encounter the bad state. Things are in a broken place. The player is not where they're supposed to be. They're up there for some reason instead of down here. Now, why is that the case? Pausing still works now because we swallow the incorrect stuff. Shouldn't, but it does. So that's weird. And the level generation does work too because we can't go into the world. So what is going on with the player state? Why do they on occasion end up all the way up there? It's very strange. They have their rigid body. The only thing I can think about as being a potential cause is that we have some kind of observable that isn't being unsubscribed from properly. And yeah, we restarted and we're in the same exact location as before. But we're fine here now. Oh, this is a weird bug. Yeah, and it's consistently happening here. Now it's happening on that stage. And now it's fine. Oh, that's so weird. It has to do something with player positioning, though, I think. Or actually, let's see where we have our observables. Let's go to the player. Subscribe. Where's the subscribe method? We're going to investigate every single one. Okay, this is one of them, but that shouldn't impact anything. This one, subscribe on receive damage. Add to this. So the player should add a game object. Okay, another subscription, but we have an add to statement there. We have an add to, so when it gets destroyed, yep. This doesn't, the invincibility timer. So these all have that now. So we're good on that front. Let me check with game object or a game board manager and do the same exact check. Ah, we're gonna add it to this. Yep. So we weren't really good with our add tos. That's what I'm seeing here. And that might have been the cause of some of these bugs. Okay, let's see. Jigsaw rigsawed his mouse so that every time he reaches for it, it pulls a glass of water closer to the edge of the table. This is all a saw contraption. That's goofy. No, it's a little bit more extreme. There's a fork hanging above the ceiling. And every time I grab it, it gets closer to being released and just fall into my hand. Okay. Can I please have a compilation? Thank you. Okay, so this is either going to be fantastic or it's going to be bad time. Okay, cool. Exit. Play. Exit. Yeah, there's something about the random number generation that's like having a bunch of still happens. Still happened. Something is moving the player around in a way I don't want them to be moved. Don't understand it. I'm gonna have to hunt for this. But hey, we got hearts added now. So let's add this real quick. Beautiful. What changes do I have in my dev kit? Pause module. I guess some enter stuff. Beautiful. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I do declare we have reached the end of our stream. Thank you guys for watching as always. I always appreciate the company. And we get ever closer to getting a game done. The first game for Cozy Cabin Games. So I'm excited. And I can't wait for the next thing. So, thank you guys for watching as always. God bless. And until next time, stay cozy. Bye-bye.